So this is going to be the fourth installment of my command line series. On my first videos, I showed you guys how to navigate the file system, how to create files, how to delete files, how to view the contents of a file, how to move around the directory tree, etc., etc. On the second video, I showed you guys the process management side of the command line. So that's like viewing the processes that are running on your computer, the user IDs, etc., etc. And then on my third video, we went through the networking side. So through the command line, I showed you guys how to view your IP address, the router IP, to check what ports are open, etc., etc. So go check those videos out. So for this one, for the fourth video, we're going to go to the hardware side of things, right? So as we know, normally on the computer, we deal with the software side. So that's the operating system. That's the the programs running within them, and the hardware is things like the memory, the CPU, the hard drive, the USB connectors, just the physical aspect pretty much of the computer. So as you're looking into our left here, these commands are pretty much going to show us the information regarding our CPU, our memory, etc., etc. How much free space we have in our hard drive, or how much free memory we have, etc., etc., right? So before we continue with this, I'm not going to lie, a lot of the jargon that we're going to see, you might have to go in deeper and Google yourself, because I really believe that it's the information that it's showing is tailored more towards somebody with a very technical background, maybe somebody in computer engineering, etc., right? So for example, it took me, like this first one right here, the first command, DMESG, it took me, I had to actually Google it to see what it was, because I didn't really understand what it meant. The second one here, I did, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. I did understand this one, which there's the command right here. So display messages in kernel ring buffer. So pretty much by Googling that, it's the kernel's way of showing what's communicating with it, right? Whether it's the Wi-Fi card, or if you connect a USB, like an external USB, it'll show you that. It'll pretty much show you the log of everything that's happening. So let me expand this right here, right? So let me see. So we're gonna do DMESG. Click on it. As you see here, right? Again, there's a lot of technical jargon which you're gonna have to Google yourself. But as you can see here, this is the hardware that's communicating with the kernel. You see my Wi-Fi card. It disconnect from AP this, and then it's showing the IP, the MAC address, etc., etc. So if you want to know what the kernel is doing and check the logs and the hardware it's communicating with, again, DMESG is that command. So let's clear it out. Let's go to our second one. So our second command is going to be display CPU information. So let's try that out. I'm going to paste this here. Again, cat/proc/CPU info. Click. Let me expand this. Alright, let's try it again. As you can see, I'm already seeing a lot of technical jargon, but some of this I do understand. So for example, right, it's an Intel processor. So this is actually the most important side of all this. So as you can see, the manufacturer, Intel, core, and then the model of my CPU, i5, right, 8350U, and then the speed, the clocking speed of my CPU, which is 170. Honestly, this computer that I'm using is very basic, and the reason I like it is because of the battery life. I do have a gaming computer that has a GPU in it, and it's souped up, right? I think it has like 24 gigabytes of memory, etc., etc., right? But that computer dies in like 30 minutes. This computer can last me about like 3 hours in a single charge. So that's why I like using this one. So anyway, when you're going computer shopping, always remember this right here is what you want to have the best. In other words, I think CPUs could clock at 4 gigahertz nowadays, I believe. So the faster the CPU, the faster your computer is going to process information. And in today's world, that's a super plus. You know what I mean? Because instead of waiting around for a task to finish, a fast CPU could just do it, and you know what I mean? Do it a lot faster. But anyway, let's go back to my CPU again. More stuff I don't understand. More stuff I don't understand. More stuff that you definitely have to Google anyway. So let's clear it out. So again, if you want to view your CPU information, cat/proc/CPU info, right? So let's go with the other to our third one. So now we're gonna view display memory information. So now we're gonna view information regarding our memory. So let's see this. Let me extend this here. Click enter. Oh, more jargon stuff. Let me see. Currently I have 24 gigabytes of memory installed. So it's showing that, and then memory free, just over 20 gigabytes. Memory available, over 20 gigabytes. Buffers, cache, yada yada yada. Another thing too is that the more memory you have on a computer, the better. So always remember that. So everything that's displayed on the screen is actually runs on memory. The operating system runs on memory. Everything runs on memory, right? So the more memory you have, the more data you can run at the same time. So hopefully that makes sense. So again, if you want to use this command, here we go. /proc/meminfo. I'm gonna click it again. All right. So let's go to our fourth command. Again, it's all hardware based. So our fourth command is display free and used memory. So let's try that out. Free and then H. So the human readable flag is up here, right? A lot of programs actually have a human readable form because it'll be a lot of jargon without it, right? So let's do this. Watch. Free, as you can see here. So this is the human readable form on top. Let me clear out this. Hold on. Free and then free. So as you see here, right? So this is actually breaking down the large number. It's showing the larger number, right, of memory available. Again, I told you I have 24 gigabytes installed. And then how much you're using, how much is free, blah, 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 as you see here, right? So the human readable flag simplifies it. So now we're viewing this 22 gigs, 2.4 gigs, 19 gigs, etc., right? Just remember, a lot of the command line instructions have a human readable flag. So always remember to try to find that. So let's clear this out. So again, it's free and then the H flag. So now let's view the display PCI devices, which is LSPCI and then the TV flag. So list hardware devices connected via the PCI, like graphics or network cards. So I'm assuming this is a log for the networks and the graphics card. So let's see what pops up. Again, it's LSPCI and the TV flag. Alright, so this is what it's showing, right? I go with my CPU, my very not so impressive graphics processor, and then the USB. Again, a lot of the stuff you're gonna have to Google to figure out what it is. Alright, so looks like it's showing the hardware connected to my computer. Audio, PSMI, and obviously my hard drive, the wireless card. So yeah, that's what it looks like it's showing. Just a bunch of hardware connected to the computer, hardware information. So again, the command is LSPCI TV, right? Click on it again, just for the fans, so we try to remember it. Alright, clear. Let's go back to our notes here. So now we're gonna view the display USB devices. LS USB and the TV flag. List USB devices connected to your computer. So currently I have my external microphone connected. So let's see if that pops up. But other than that, I don't have anything connected. I don't have no mouse, none of that. So again, LS USB and then the TV flag. So let's see if my microphone pops up. Let me see, wireless, Bluetooth wireless interface, Bluetooth wireless interface. I don't see my wireless microphone. So you're gonna have to Google what all this is. So whatever you see on your computer, you're gonna have to Google whatever that is. So again, it's LS, USB, and then the TV flag for that one. So let's go back. So now display DMI and SM BIOS information. So for you guys that don't know what a BIOS is, it's the bootloader program. So if you ever turn a computer on, it's that very first program you see, and it'll give you the options to like boot it to something else or like change system time and you know what I mean, etc., etc. So that program actually boots the operating system and starts it up. So that's why you see like the loading screen, like on a Windows machine, you see the little ring spinning. So the bootloader program actually loaded that one up. So I guess this command here is going to show us the information regarding that, and something tells that it's going to be super complicated and more technical jargon. So DMI decode, so there that is. It's expanded because you know it's going to be a lot of hoorah. So here we go. Let's start from the top. Getting SM BIOS data from sysfs. So SM BIOS 3.0 present. Let me see, more stuff I don't understand, more stuff that has to be Googled. So I guess we're getting somewhere down here. So vendor, and I do have an HP computer, and then version, address, runtime size, doesn't look that much. ROM 32 megabytes, PCI supported, blah 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 blah. More blah 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 blahs, more jargon. Alright, so you get the point. So if you want to know your BIOS information, again, it's DMI decode. There's that. So on to our next command. So this one, it's show information about disk. So this one is actually going to show us, let me see, give basic information about your hard drive. So that was pretty much self-explanatory. So let me expand this right here. Click on this one. Failed and appropriate. What? That doesn't make sense. That should have worked. Let me see. Maybe if I've used this one before. Alright, so I guess it gave us this information. So I'm assuming this is the storage capacity, which makes sense to me because I do believe it's 256 gigabytes. So, and then geometry. This is interesting. Let's Google this stuff real quick. Let's see. HD parm. Oh, what the heck? It didn't even show. Gemini didn't even want to give me a response. Anyway, you're gonna have to individually Google that yourselves. Honestly, like I said, a lot of this is gonna be very technical, so you're gonna have to go back and learn a lot of that stuff on your own. So let's go down here. Perform a retest drive on SDA. This one. Test how fast your hard drive can read data. Let's copy and paste this bad boy. So here we go. Timey catch reads 6560 megabytes and over close to 2 seconds. Timing buffer disk reads 2174 megabytes 30 seconds. I mean, in my opinion, this is pretty quick. So So if you want to learn how fast your computer can read data off the hard drive, this is the command one more time: HD parm flag T and a capital T, and then your the directory of your hard drive. So remember that this some computers, some Linux drives, they'll name this differently. Some will be SDA, but they'll usually be dev in front right here. So remember that. So that's important. So now let's see. Test for unreadable blocks on disk. So it checks the hard drive for damaged areas that can't be read. That's super cool. Let's try that out. Paste. And then enter. Check it for bad blocks. Honestly, something tells me this is going to take a very long time. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do it, so you do it at home. Maybe, you watch a TV show or do something and wait till it lets you know, okay, maybe this sector of the hard drive is bad. Just so you don't know how a hard drive works, a hard drive is pretty much like just think of like mailboxes, right? You ever go to the post office and they got those little mailboxes you can rent out? So yeah, a hard drive is pretty much the same thing. It'll house data in certain like sectors, certain parts, and like little, and like again, they're almost like little mailboxes. And this program will check which of those don't work, because some of these areas do go bad. And using this command to look what part of your hard drive might not work, because hard drives do go bad. Honestly, I just had one go bad. So using this program is important, because you get to see which, if maybe over time the whole hard drive will just stop working, which is bad because the hard drive stores your operating system. So if any parts of it start going bad, the operating system itself is not going to work properly. So again, to do that is bad blocks, the S flag /dev, and then the directory pretty much of your hard drive. Again, it could be different. It could be SDA, etc., right? So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Don't forget to hit the like, the follow, the everything. Alright guys, till next time, peace.